Hey, what's up you guys? Yes. Ayan, welcome po sa panibagong episodyo ng ating nag-iisang Sacred Witches Coven Podcast. Palakpakan naman natin. Yes! I'm so proud and excited. This is episode 2! Ah, lakas ah. This is episode 2, you guys, and I'm excited because we are finally here. We are finally live. Live tuloy. Hindi. We are finally recording the second episode. No? So, today we will be diving deep into the crossroads. Crossroads. Hindi. We're diving deep into another paranormal stuff. No? So, this is by the Reddit thread Paranormal Paranormal. Ayan. No? Reddit thread Paranormal. Yan ang paranormal stuff na babasahin natin. Okay. So this is by Bocchi the Hawk. Yan. So I think I summoned a succubus. Oops, sorry. Busok ako. I think I summoned a succubus. This is by Bocchi the Hawk. So, ang flare nito is NSFW or explicit content sexual situation. So, a while ago, I was talking to my friend. I hadn't mated in a while. And I started joking with him that I should summon a succubus. Bakit naman kasi nag-joke ka? Bakit ka nag-joke? So, I hadn't made it in a while. And I started joking with him that I should summon a succubus. And that one day I would perform a ritual. I kept talking about this for a long time. But how I wanted a succubus to visit the same night. I simply had a dream. I was in a driving school, and I remembered the faces of the people around me. Suddenly, a completely stunning woman entered the room, and I could see every detail of her clothes. But her face was blurry. Not that she didn't have one, or not that she didn't have a face. No. I know she did. I just can't remember. It's just a blur. And then it happened. I remember the smell, the feeling of the skin, and the warmth. And when I woke up, I was completely sick, barely able to get out of bed for 3 days. And to be honest, I don't mind another visit. Boy, sana all. Sana all na lang talaga. But, yeah. So, that was, this was posted, by the way, about 8 months ago na. No? Matagal-tagal na pala. But, let's see the comments. So, there was one comment. This is by row 11A 2002. Why don't you mind another visit? Yet it left you completely sick. Yeah. The irony of it all. Okay. So next. Let's go back. We will find another story to read. Okay. This was posted 6 hours ago. And this is still in the paranormal Reddit thread, and this was by Gerald's Apple Pie. And my daughter, wife, and I saw something that we cannot explain. Anyone want to explain? The flare here is an encounter. So, hi. I don't know if this is the right place to put this, but I don't know what other sub to post or what other sub to post this to. My family, wife, and daughter age 7, and I we're taking a spring walk in a park area near the water. This park was sort of foresty, and there is a river. It's a pretty big area with multiple paths. It was around 5 p.m. and there wasn't many people. It was pretty empty since it was sort of a chilly. Since it was sort of chilly still. We walked along a path that went along the river. Suddenly, as we got to a certain part of the path, it got oddly quiet. We didn't hear the birds or squirrels, just the wind and water. It was odd, but it didn't make us worried. Yet, my daughter stopped then, pointed to the other. My daughter stopped, then pointed to the other side of the river. The river was running, but there was still some patches of snow on the ground. The water was most likely freezing. My daughter smiled and said, "Mom, Mommy, look! The wolf went for a swim." My wife and I both looked to see a large wolf crawling out of the water. My daughter loves animals, so she was excited. The wolf was soaking wet. It shook off before turning around and staring right at us. Its eyes were predator looking at us, like he was seeing us as prey. His eyes were also too human, if that makes sense. I wasn't the only one who thought something was up because my wife whispered, "What the F?" under her breath and grabbed me and my daughter, holding us. Um, we stared back at the wolf. The wolf was light coated, a light white, whitish gray or whitish gray. Its eyes were dark. It just stared at us. My daughter kept trying to say hi to it. It kept getting. It kept. I kept getting a weird feeling. So base sa lalaki, um, the father, in a sense. The park was still quiet, and it felt like time stopped. I have never seen a wolf act like this. It was staring at us, not moving, or not moving, soaking wet. I thought maybe it was sick or had something, so I told my family we should go. As we walked, the wolf followed us from the other side of the river. He was talking. He was walking, staring at us the whole time. He didn't look away. He waited. He walked without looking away. My daughter still didn't feel like anything was wrong, and she said, "Aw, the wolf likes us." I told her that the wolf was sick, and we had to leave it alone. It followed us until the path went into the trees, and we could no longer see the river. After a few minutes, the sounds of birds and squirrels were there again. It freaked my wife and I out. I thought nothing of it until the next morning. For context, we live in a smallish town um, in Ontario. It's not really the country, but not a big city or anything. The next morning, I stepped outside to have a smoke. My morning routine. So that's his morning routine. No? Um, I looked over and saw some paw prints in the dirt, and patches of melting snow. Malamang the wolf followed them. The wolf followed them. So it was large dog or wolf prints, and it stopped at my living room window. There were only paw prints going towards my house, not away from my house. I got my wife and we looked and didn't see any prints going away from the house. It was so weird. We checked the house, but obviously nothing was inside. We didn't think to take pictures of them, which I do regret. The rain mostly washed them away. They are still there. There are still some, but they are most faded by the rain. Mostly faded by the rain. I'm really creeped out, and I need to know if anyone uh, has an explanation. Maybe I'm overthinking it, and it was sick. It was a sick wolf, and a random neighborhood dog, and or a random neighborhood dog. Even though all my neighbors had them uh, that have dogs are always on leashes and don't go out at night. The prints were definitely not there before. Ooh, that was creepy. But you know what? I love that, so I'm gonna upload that. Sana all. So, according to uh, hindi. According to resplendent, uh, resplendent, something, according to uh, resplendent shade. Ayan. According to resplendent shade, about 4 hours ago, it was edited as well. It says, they said, first of all, there is a widely reported thing that is the sudden uh, that is the sudden onset of an unnaturally dead silence, usually in a natural setting, that is often accompanied by a deep sense of dread, dread or dread silence, eerie silence, phenomenon, etc. Now, and science-wise, this is understood to be caused by shifting atmospheric pressure, which cause birds and insects to cease activity and seek shelter. And since humans are so attuned to environmental sounds, the sudden silence can lead to anxiety, fear, or panic. And the presence of apex predators is also associated with a sudden quiet in the forest, as all the prey animals collectively tune into the threatening presence. And the wolf is certainly such a predator as well. Not to freak you out, but being the subreddit wherein it bears mentioning that there are stories associated with Skinwalker Ranch that involve a large wolf-like creature. It was described as a muscular with a shiny gray silver coat, with unusual and piercing blue eyes, and much longer than any modern North American wolf, and displaying none of the timidness toward humans that normal wolves exhibit. In one report, it was kind of just stalking a woman's car. Another reports described the family encountering it and even petting it, but then it attacked their family. They actually shot it and reported zero effect, not even any blood. The footprints thing is chilling. Yeesh. Uh, Put up security cameras because if it comes back and it's a non-normal animal, then you'll have it on camera. But if it is a paranormal based, there, well, there's a widely reported observation among paranormal researchers that the phenomena seems to be camera shy or exhibits observer dependent behavior. There's a running joke that if you want to defend yourself from something paranormal, just bring a camera. Lol. And inversely, if you want to increase the chance of a paranormal event, don't bring a camera. On the other hand, NIDS researchers at Skinwalker Ranch actually had their cameras disabled, physical lines with no explanation, and some Bigfoot and UFOs researchers have reported sudden, unexplainable camera malfunctions that coincided with the paranormal activity. George Knapp has commented in interviews that the phenomenon seems to call the shots on what you're allowed to see, who gets to see it, and when. Jakis Valley or Huakis or Hakis or Jakis Valley has written extensively about the trickster quality of the phenomenon and the idea that it behaves as if it has intelligence and actively evades documentation. That said, unexplainably disabled cameras could also be a useful data point in the regard. Freaky story though, honestly, gave me chills. Kudos on not totally panicking on the walk, and hopefully no, there were also prints that led away from the house, but they were on snow that, that had melted or something. But to keep all our paranormal bases covered, tracks that suddenly disappear are a reported thing with cryptid researchers, notably Bigfoot researchers, leaving some of them to theorize, as nutty as it all sounds, that they are some kind of interdimensional beast that phases in and out in our reality, which also helps to explain the lack of carcasses. That also was reported in the incident I mentioned previously that the family interacted with the weirdly large and unlimited wolf, untimid wolf, and then shot it after it attacked the cow. Being experienced hunters, they tracked it for almost a mile and found the prints easy to follow on the soft ground, but then the tracks suddenly stopped and they stopped in an area where the ground ahead was the same texture or consistency as the ground behind it, leaving no explanation for how or why. Also worth noting that the dynamic of the kid ob- obliviously being oblivious during an event while the adults are very confused definitely turn up in paranormal experience literature, but also just tracks with normal human. I also wonder, is it common for wolves to voluntarily swim in Ontario when there's still snow on the ground? I sort of doubt that is normal. But no, but I'm no wolf expert. Worth looking into though. Which leads to the more probable mundane explanation. Sick wolf swimming because it was sick, following you guys because it was sick, giving you the heebie-jeebies because it was sick, and acting on etc. And then, yeah, you just missed the prints leading away from the house, which were hopefully a different animal entirely. Whew, haba nun. That was a long comment, but in a sense, yeah, it's actually cool to be able to document that alone. No, it's actually cool. So let's read another comment, but give me one moment here. Let me just pause for a minute because my voice is kind of raw, sore. So for those who are in a premium setting who are not or who are just listening, not really watching. Hi guys. For those who are in the premium that are, I just had to not drink water, but I had to take a little break from that. So yeah, you hear the music. That's the music of the Sacred Witches Coven podcast. So I downloaded it for you guys to listen to every once in a while. So another comment says by Substantial Pressure 3, which is posted 5 hours ago. Top 1% commenter. So sick or wounded animals are going to uh, go after whatever they think they can catch, including humans and other prey. They wouldn't consider if they were not desperate. The birds and small animals went silent because there was a predator in the area. And yes, if you've never felt like prey before, it is incredibly unnerving. I'm assuming you're a relatively healthy man. You've probably never had any experience before, at least not since you were very small. And you guys just sort of presented yourselves. So yeah, that wolf may have been considering going after one of you and was sizing you up. All of you. So people underestimate wolves' intelligence. True. But to be honest with you, um, for me, we will read one more later. But for me, I I bet you actually, the kid has to do with it. Number one, the wolf was attracted to the kid because why? Because based on the thing that we've read earlier, medyo ano kasi siya, there's a feeling of the kid was excited to see, thus hearing screams, or thus hearing a louder noise than usual. So the kid was then attracting the wolf, and so the wolf came to follow them home. So that's it. But for me, it didn't harm them at all. So if it if it did harm, or if it did show some signs of like wanting to harm them, it might have attacked them already. It might have crossed the river. But then, as I read earlier, it didn't actually cross. It was just walking alongside them at the across the river. So it wasn't really like planning to attack. For me, it was like a guardian of some sort. Um, because again, an alpha wolf can be a guardian to humans. That's what I've seen here. Because again, my one of my familiars is not only a cat but a wolf as well. Because the wolf, um, again, mine is a pack of wolves actually. So if ever I may go close to nature, I may encounter wolf, a pack of wolves, and they will not harm me at all. I do believe in that because again, based on my chart, based on the research that I did, my familiars are two: the wolves, pack of wolves, and the cat, a tuxedo cat. Because this tuxedo cat in the name of Hades is not here with me yet, but it's been appearing in my dreams for quite some time. So I believe it's happening now. So yeah, forgive me for the camera, guys. I didn't see that coming. But let's read one. Let's read one more here. Okay. So here's how I understand it. This is by two notice Kunig. Kunig. Hirap naman. Here's how I understood it. As the people in the story were on their walk and the dad said it got quick, it got quiet, that's because the wolf is in the story. The wolf in the story was already on the hunt. And as mentioned, either other creatures that could also be considered prey also start their own chitter. Or also all start their chitter. As the family approached the river, whatever the wolf was chasing must have gotten away, as the wolf chased it over the frozen parts of the river. But maybe at this point, when the family came upon the wolf, it had actually fallen into the river because of a broken ice or something. When the wolf got back to shore and noticed something else that was considered a tasty delight, then it started to try to hunt, but didn't get any chance or any closer because it had already fallen into the river once. The tracks leading up to the house to sound like a dog that was much closer to them because it wasn't the wolf at the point. It wasn't going to cross the river again. That like that to make the same mistake. So yeah, it probably isn't the wolf in itself, or if it's a theory then too that the wolf in itself is or has crossed the river somehow, or has found a place to like to the end of the river where it can cross safely without without being wet again. So that could be one of so yeah. So anyway, you guys, I had to that was a short little Reddit thread for you guys. There's still a lot of comments in here for that, but uh, uh, in the next or in the extended episode, we will also read more of the comments. And in the extended episode, right on our coffee or the Ko-Fi or the ko-fi.com/sacred riches coven is you can watch the entire extended edition there. Um, this that will only be the extended part of the episode. So if you like to be able to, you know, have some fun with me on there, you can always go ahead and visit ko-fi or ko-fi.com/sacred riches coven. Again, ko-fi dot com slash sacred riches coven. And if you have stories, stories like these or paranormal encounters, love stories, love confessions, whatever, you can send it to our official email, sacredrichescoven at gmail. Again, that's sacredrichescoven@gmail.com. Again, that's sacredrichescoven@gmail.com. Thank you so much for listening. This is your host, by Shimron Suarez. Bye. Bye now.